It has been almost 90 years since Bandai first unleashed the original digital monster virtual pet onto the world, and since then we have seen a plethora of different Digimon V-Pets of all shapes and sizes, with varying features and lots of different Digimon on them. But Bandai has always had a certain fondness for that original style. Look at it spin. So good. They really do like that brick format. They've unleashed it many times since then. For example, the Digital Monster version 20th. They also did the Digital Monster version Revive. The Digital Monster version 20th was then released in English outside of Japan. And the Digital Monster X used the exact same form factor. Now, they've done a few other things as well in recent years. They've done 2 different devices in the Pendulum series. And they also, of course, have the Vital Bracelet series, which is very different from the original concept of the Digital Monster Virtual Pet. But they cannot give up this design, and because they have not given it up, we have yet another rehash of the original Digital Monster, this time, though, in glorious color. Gray and black. Now, there's more to it than that, but we'll get there. So, bye, little guy. Might see you again later. Actually, no, come back here. Let's compare this. What are we doing? So, we have the color on the left. We have the original on the right. Mine is glorious and battered from years of love. Look at that. Look at that beautiful non-matching back. Yeah, so same form factor, same size, about same weight. Only thing that's different is the inside and how it works, and, you know, there's no battery compartment here. What? We'll get to that too. So very much a faithful recreation of the original style that was there, but you'll notice that the screen is right now entirely opaque. Not very colorful for a color device, but again, we'll get to that. It looks pretty much identical to any of the gray. I believe this is a version revival I'm holding right here, probably. This is a version revival? Yeah, this is a version revival. Looks pretty much like any other gray brick that they've made in recent years, likewise with the black. There's actually a couple of other colors it comes in as well, which I have over here behind me. Where'd they go? There they are. Boom, they come in tasty white and the classic brick. Well, they call it brown. Everyone else in the world calls it red, but Bandai calls it brown. So yeah, there's a few colors to choose from there. I opted to open up the gray and black because those are the colors I preferred. I usually go for the cooler colors over the warmer colors in most things. And yeah, but either way, there are 2 distinct rosters. So the gray and the brown devices have the original version 1 roster, which is the same thing this yellow guy has, while the black and the white devices have the original version 2 roster, which these are the same original colors that they were released in way back when in 1997. And the only downside is that we didn't see the skeleton colors for the version 2, and nor did we see any of the other, I think there's 4 other colors for the version 1 in Japan. But either way, that's not the big deal. The color of the device is not as important as the colors that the device displays. So before we get into that, let's move you to the side for right now, and let's get a little bit closer to the camera here. Adjust that focus. There we go. So on this guy right here, so again, mostly a brick when you look at it all. We've even got the prongs going on there. Just a classic thing. But we do see here that instead of a battery back, we do have a handy dandy little USB charging port right there. So USB-C, unlike the Vital Bracelet, which uses micro, so that's a nice welcome change. So yeah, overall though, looks pretty identical. Now, before I turn it on, I want to give you a few heads up about this video and how this is going to go, right? So first and foremost, this device is in Japanese. And it's not just the Digimon names, it's menuing and all that too. There's not a lot of menus on here, so if you don't know Japanese, whatever, doesn't matter. I don't know Japanese and I use it just fine. The nice thing is that since it is such a simple device, there's only a few things that you have to memorize and you'll get them down real quickly. Another note is I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh, how do I buy this? And well, it's a premium Bandai product. And what that means is that they sold it for pre-order only for a limited time, and those pre-orders are done and they have shipped, and that's it. So if you didn't buy one, you will have to go to resellers, and those resellers may or may not have stock, and how long they'll have stock is anyone's guess. But yeah, that's the unfortunate thing with these kind of things. So keep an eye on places like Japan You Want or Zen and TCG, see if they have these come in. I know Japan You Want was offering them for pretty high price, which I love you guys, but come on, calm down. When they actually released, they were selling them at a pretty high price after the pre-order started shipping. So wasn't thrilled to see that, but yeah, if you didn't get one, do your best to find one if you like it. But Yeah, you're not going to find it in stores. This isn't a retail item. And a bunch of people are going to be like, oh, well, I'll just wait for it to come out in English. Don't know if it's going to come out in English. The Digital Monster version 20th came out in 2017 and released in English in 2019. It was a 2-year turnaround, while the Pendulum version 20th still hasn't released. The Pendulum Z still hasn't released. It was released in 2018 and 2020, respectively. So yeah, we still never saw anything for that in English. And then we also have the, all the other virtual pets that never released in English that came out in Japan. So I don't know. It's always a possibility, obviously, but not a strong one, I'd say. I wouldn't bank on this for sure coming out in English. So if you want one for sure, like if you really want one, then yeah, try to get the Japanese one. If you're like, yeah, I'd like one if it's in English, but if I don't get one, no big deal, then okay, sure, keep waiting, whatever. That's all fine and good. And then just as a heads up, this has been like completely data mined. Cyanic was able to go through the ROM file and look up everything that this device does. So the manual at digitamahatchery.com is 100% up to date. If you don't know how to use this device, then go to that manual, read it in its entirety, read the evolution page, read the FAQ, read the legend. Everything's on there. Everything you need to know about running this device is on there. I know some of you will come to this video and start typing in the comments, be like, how do I get a care mistake? But it's there, I promise you. It's all there. I 100% promise you. So check out the manual page. You'll find all the details there. And before this is a lot to talk about before even showing you the screen, but just do make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video, because there will be something that you might be very interested in. Just saying, hint, hint. Anyway, let's just start talking about the device, right? So let's hit a button there. Boom, screen turns on. Look at that, we got Blitzcream on. Let's zoom in on this lovely guy right here, and let's get some focus going on right there. Beautiful. So yeah, full color screen, sprites colored in I guess that would be like a 16-bit or 16-bit adjacent coloring. I don't know if they actually have restrictions on this thing or what as far as the sprite colors, but that's a Blitzcream right there. He first debuted on the Digital Monster version 20th and makes his return here. So yes, even though this is a device referencing the original version 1, it does still have the extra Digimon from the Digital Monster version 20th for this roster only. I'm going to key that in right now. This is not a Digital Monster version 20th. It contains one roster, 18 Digimon, including Blitzgreymon. So Bancho Mamemon returns as well. And for Monzaemon, it gets a new evolution that first debuted on the Vital Bracelet B, that being Shin Monzaemon. So that's what you get, original version 1 roster with 3 ultimate forms, and then one more super secret Digimon that Blitzgreymon can evolve into. Don't worry, we'll definitely show that off. So yeah, there he goes, bouncing around. Have to say, love the sprites on him. The colored sprites have never really been my thing overall. Between the Digimon World and Digimon Cyber Sleuth stuff, they usually, 16-second timeout is bad for videos. Between all that, the sprites were usually not great when they were colored. I don't know, the coloring was just really mediocre. But they've redone, these are brand new colored sprites. These aren't the same ones they've used before, and they all look like way better. Like for real, they look so much better than the other attempts at coloring the 16x16 sprites. So very happy to see that here. Definitely glad that they went to that extra effort to do that, because I did not expect that they would. So let's just start going through, looking at the functions of this. So most of it should be the same: A button, B button, C button. You know what they all do. It beeps. We can go into here, we get stats, we get the weight and age, we get the hunger meter, we get the strength meter. He's 1 heart low on both. We have the effort meter, which is kind of useless. I don't know why they added this in here, because yes, you can use it to count your trainings, up to 16 of them, but several Digimon require many more than 16 trainings, so effort's not exactly helpful. You have your energy or DP, which lets you battle. Every time you battle, you lose some of this. And you have your win ratio, 87%, which, by the way, win ratio is now cumulative across all battles, not just the last 15 like it's been on the Digital Monster version 20th, the original Digital Monster, etc., etc., etc. So very cool that they're actually using the value there for evolution rather than just your last 15. And that's all the stats. Let's just verify that. Boom, there they go. There's all the stats. That's all of them. So then you got food. You got food and you got protein like normal. Look at them go, chomping away. Protein does increase your chance of injury. Every 4 proteins you get increases your chance to get injured when you lose by 10%. So be careful. Don't feed too many proteins. Your training is the exact same training from the original version 1. And yeah, just hit B. That's all you got to do. And a lot of people are like focusing on the patterns, being like, oh, well, there's 10 repeating patterns and they do this, this, and this. And yeah, that's great. There are 10 repeating patterns. You don't have to memorize them. Just hit B. You will win 4 out of 5 times. And yeah, there we go. 3 versus 2. I did only B. That's a successful training. 1 successful training. If you these little pieces in between, that's not 1 training. That's 1/5 of a training. This is another 1/5 of a training, and so on and so forth. So just so you know that the original version 1 training, you do all 5 rounds, and that's 1 training. Whether or not trainings are successful, you'll still add training to your evolution. So if evolution requires 32 training and you failed all 32 trainings, you still got 32 trainings. Let's get out of there. Bye. You then have battles. So you have connection battles like normal. We'll come to those a bit later. But you have quest battles make a return in here. So there are several quest areas you can go through, and each one has a varying Digimon you can fight. By varying Digimon, I of course mean one of the Digimon that's on the roster you're fighting. So I'm not. Well, we'll just go into quest mode. Whatever. I was gonna say I'm not gonna, because we'll do the first one here, because I don't want to spend this whole video having you watch him go through quest mode. So they exchange blows. The first one to get 3 hits is the winner on these, unlike connection battles, where it's just the person who lands the last hit is the winner on those, just like on the original. You'll notice there's no battle input, which is a shame, but that's how it was on the original, so I get them not including it, whatever. But it does mean that battles are just kind of entirely up to the RNG. You hit the button and hope for the best. If you want best results in battles, make sure your strength meter is full. You get a power bonus from that. And traded eggs also granted bonus, but traded eggs are harder to get because when you die, you have a 30% chance to get one, and you can't influence that stat whatsoever. So, yeah, works a little bit differently, but they give you a power boost instead of an evolution boost like they did on the original device. So we'll skip these battles here, go right past them, and warning, warning, warning. Oh no, it's Marimon. Here he comes. There it is. All right, let's kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. All right, he's dead. All right, so that was 3 battles that just got done, added to my win ratio. Great. Battles don't carry over after evolution, by the way. So if you did 15 battles as an adult Digimon, you'll need to do another 15 as a perfect to continue evolving into the next stage. Yeah, the waste button, there it goes, just like always. If there's poop on the screen, that'll get rid of it. Poop looks like chocolate chips, by the way. Not pink like you might expect. Lights, you can shut them off. They're off. You can turn them back on. They're on. Same button to do both, unlike usual where you have an on and off switch. And that's because the second option here is your freeze option. So we have cold mode first and foremost. That'll put Digimon in the freezer, essentially pausing your Digimon's growth entirely, so it doesn't lose hearts, it doesn't age, it doesn't do any of that crap while ever it's in the freezer. We're going to take it out. And then the second option that we have there is a return from the Digital Monster X and Pendulum Z, which is that we can back up the Digimon into a nice little compressed zip folder here and get another Digimon out in return. I believe it's just a Bodemon that we have back there. Yep, there it is. There's a little Bodemon that we have. But we don't want to raise Bodemon right now. We want Blitzgreymon, so let's pull him back in. Get back out here, Blitzgreymon. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Look at all those zeros and ones. All right, you then have your bandage icon, which, as usual, heals your Digimon. Different Digimon require different... Oh, that's right. I should probably mention. Whenever you put someone in the freezer, they lose all their meters. So, yeah, there we go. Now we're back to full. I did just feed him 4 pills, and yes, he did get 1 overdose from me doing that. But yeah, so if you want quick care mistakes, back them up and take them back out. Easy way to do it. Anyway, medicine. Some Digimon take different doses of it. Right now, he's not injured, so he doesn't need it. And then you have your call light. If it goes on, take care of your Digimon by either feeding it, training it, or putting it to bed. And if you don't do one of those things, depending on what it needs, in enough time, so 10 minutes for heart meters depleting, or 1 hour, really a full long hour, for falling asleep. If you don't do it in time, the call light will go on its own, and that is a care mistake. That is the only way to get care mistakes, is by that light turning on and then going out on its own. So those are all the menus, except for the secret hidden menu, which you access by holding down the C button here. It's the minus button for a second. This is not a switch. It's not actually a secret menu because it is in the manual. This is intentional. This is your settings. So first setting is the most exciting, because you'll notice I've got a grid going on my background, as opposed to the classic, there it is, the beautiful green rolling hills of the version 1. We'll put that on for a second there. There, that's more classic looking. But yeah, they, after using the same background on so many different Digital Monster version 20ths, they decided, you know what? We're going to give back a little bit, and we're going to give you like a million backgrounds. So we have version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, version 5. we have an abandoned office, we have the D1 Grand Prix, we have File Frickin' Island, and we have the grid and the digital monster version color. Does anyone use this? If you use this, you are not using this device correctly. So one of them is there's two unlocked. The abandoned office and the version background for your current version are unlocked by default, so I would have already had that one. The other 4 versions, so version 2, 3, 4, and 5, get unlocked by connecting to that specific version of device. And now you're like, but Humulos, they don't have versions 3 through 5 yet. And well, good news, they are like almost definitely going to make them. There was a quote in the Digimon Dot and device history book. I might have forgotten the actual name of it, but that's close enough. That said, yeah, we're going to make the versions 3 through 5, but why wouldn't we? We might even make pendulum colors. They might even make pendulum colors. These contain all the sprites from the pendulum and the pendulum series for the different things there. It was on the live stream the other day. I was really excited when I saw Garudamon's Shadow Wing pop up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like a pendulum sprite. And yeah, super exciting. So we should see more devices in the color line coming out. And then your next question, obviously, is going to be, but Humulos, if they're not out yet, how do you have those backgrounds? And if you've been paying attention, you know I use a little device called a DCOM, or in my case, a smaller configuration called an ACOM, to connect my devices to my computer and do unlocks and all sorts of shady things. And while I didn't figure it out this time around, which I'm very thankful for, my gosh, the community has been really fast on this device in getting things done, so I've been able to focus solely on making the guide, which has been very helpful. I didn't have to do like any research. So huge shout outs to Cyanic for that. And huge shout out for Joshikuda, who was able to make some software for Arduino, for the Arduino IDE. He made an INO file. Actually, I have a short on it. Just go watch the short. You'll see what happens in there. But yeah, based on Blade's original work, Blade Saber being the one who made the DCOM system and the original INO. And so yeah, based on that, he was able to already get us to connect to other versions of the digital monster color. Do so at your own risk. I'm not telling you to do that, but you do get cool backgrounds, including File Island when you connect to all 4 other versions of the digital monster color. So those are the backgrounds. Freaking sweet addition. I absolutely love it. I like changing my backgrounds based on my evolution. So like Waymon, I got the other day. So I put him on the beach because obviously he should be a beach whale. I like having Blitzgreymon on the grid, so we're going to put him back on the grid. Actually, or do we want him flying over File Island? Yeah, we're going to put him flying over File Island. Look at that. That's great. I had Metal Greymon on the grid, so it's time for him to ascend into the ether above File Island. Absolutely. I'm hoping we get Folder Continent on the pendulums. Again, though not confirmed. 3 through 5, basically confirmed. Pendulums 1 through 0, if there's enough interest, and I'm sure there'll be enough interest, they will explore doing those as well. So hopefully everyone else is enthused as I am. Other settings, we have brightness. Does exactly what you'd think it would do. So I have it on max right now for the video, but normally I usually have it on low most of the time. We have sound. It can either be, I only have it on mid. Now it's loud. Now it's not as loud. I equalize the levels of my videos, so this won't sound any different to you. But either way, you can do that. Usually the mid is super loud enough as it is. This is a loud device. You can also mute the classic way by doing that. Now it's quiet. But we're not going to leave it muted. We're going to leave it unmuted. And then let's see, there should be one more setting, which is, we're not going to click, just power off. Powers off the device. You can also power it off by holding down the C button for 10 seconds. It'll make a little noise. In fact, here, I'll show you what that's like. First to that. And there you go. It makes that noise, and then it would power off if I continued holding it after that. But I'm not going to right now. And then to turn your device back on, C button, all the same. So that is overall the functionality of the device. Pretty freaking cool. It's not got a lot compared to some other devices. Like the Digital Monster X is still like a more engaging device overall, but I still really like this. I don't know, just color is not a super important thing to me on a VPET, but there's just something so endearing about this. I don't know what it is. It's just a fun novelty. Like I just like this as a fun novelty. I wouldn't necessarily recommend someone to collect all of these. But if you have the roster you like I like the version 1 and version 4 roster, and if I didn't do Digimon for a hobby as big as I do, then I'd probably have just gotten the version 1 and the version 4 whenever that comes out. But yeah, no, I do think they're very, very cute. I probably won't be running this one as much because I don't care for this roster a whole bunch, but I did run it at least for this video so that I can get this guy. That's Kreskarurumon. Everyone knows what's about to happen, so let's make it happen, shall we? So if you, let's zoom out just ever so slightly. Thank you. Also, let's turn his brightness up. Why is your, I should have done that before the freaking video started, but I didn't. There we go. Easier to see now. All right, we can get them both on frame. Fantastic. So these two guys, you may remember, the Digital Monster version 20th, have a very special connection with one another where they're going to try to kill each other, which we're going to do over here. And we're going to go to the little smiley face, which means connection. This makes the classic battle sounds. We connect them via the prongs. Hit the button. Battle initiates, and we'll see what happens. Now you may be wondering, oh, can I connect this to my other Digimon pets? And no, you can't. It can only connect to the Digital Monster color. That is it. Does not connect to a DM20, does not connect to an original Digital Monster. Only colors can fight other colors. That's it. Let's see. All right, Blitzgraymon 1. Very good job. Virus beats data. Classic. Classic. I'll shut up for this part. Here we go. And there we have it, Omegamon Alter S, the fusion of those two Digimon that is a pretty much cooler version of Omegamon in every way. I like this guy. He's pretty freaking great. Yeah, so there you go. Now I got two of those. So you go away now. We're just going to keep focusing on this one because I like this one better because it's I just do. All right, I don't have to explain why I like this one better. I just do. So now we got Omegamon running around File Island, causing havoc, all sorts of good stuff. And yeah, so those are pretty much all the features that come with this guy. Again, pretty bare bones, but still really cool. I think the modding scene on this is going to be pretty cool. Big question I'm going to answer right now. You're all going to be like, oh, can we just plug it into a computer and go to town? No, you cannot. This USB port does not do data. It's just for charging only. And actually, let's answer that question now, too. Your next question is going to be, oh, how long can it stay alive on one battery charge? And it stays alive for quite a while, I've come to find. It seems like 5 days is a pretty solid estimate for a kind of a minimum of how long you should expect it. I've only charged this thing since I got it a week ago, Thursday night. It's Friday night right now. And so I've had it for 8 days. I have charged it for a total of 1 hour, 30 minutes on 2 different days. And that's it. That's all I've had to do. And I didn't even have to do that. I never at any point got to low battery. I just was like, oh, might as well fill it up right now. I feel like it's been long enough, and there we have it. So yeah, definitely is able to stay alive a lot longer than a Vital Bracelet, which is very nice to see. There's not many sensors in here or anything. Well, there's not any sensors in here, really. It's just the CPU, the screen, and the sound. That's it. That's all that's happening on here. So you shouldn't really expect it to die that quickly, I guess. I'm just glad it doesn't. But yeah, as far as modding goes, can't go through the USB. You have to open it up, attach it to a thing, and then use the thing to send a thing and return a thing and all these things. And if you're not technically inclined, modding's probably not going to be for you. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. But it is cool. We've already had a friend of the channel load the version 6 roster onto their device, which is really freaking cool. I'm not going to name names just in case he wants to remain anonymous, but anonymous. I'm not taking this out and leaving that in. This is one take, baby. One take video. I'll explain why later. No, I won't. This is staying in too. We're moving on. Anyway, so yeah, modding is really cool. Changing evolution requirements, changing sprites, all that stuff should be theoretically possible in this, and hopefully we'll see some really cool stuff come out of that. I know once I am ready to dive into it, I will definitely try making myself a full custom roster on here. We'll see how far I actually get, but I want to at least attempt it and see what I can do. If I can make my own little Deep Savers brick, that would be really sick. So yeah, that's the device. I'm going to stop talking about it now. We're going to close out this video here. But before it closes, again, I told you got to stay all the way to the end, because here's the thing, is that I ordered a few of these guys, right? And I don't need more than 2. I'm going to keep the other 2 colors I have just, for the sake of having them all. Why not? But the other ones, well, I got to do something with them, right? So I am going to run another giveaway, as you might have guessed, and that giveaway is going to be to win a Digital Monster color of your choice. Just one. Only giving away one, but you get to choose which color it is. So it's either going to be the gray, brown, black, or white colors of the device. So pick whichever one you want if you win. And now you're like, okay, well, how do I enter? So as usual, this is going to be a comment giveaway. So what I want you to do is leave a comment below this video. And what I want you to write in that is what your most wanted feature for a traditional VPET device is. And that could be something like, well, it can't be color. You can't choose color anymore because color is already here. Color even a feature? Yes, color is a feature, and we have that feature now, so that's already here. So what other features would you like to see in a virtual pet in the future that we don't already have, or maybe one that was used in the past that is not in use right now that you'd like to see make a return? Maybe there's something cool that Tamagotchi does that you would prefer to see in Digimon. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of really cool ideas that I've seen other people come up with for this. I want to hear what yours are. I've got a few myself, but I'll save those for the live stream when we announce the winner, and that winner will be announced not on April 1st because I have something else planned for April 1st, but in early April. You at least have until that time to enter the contest. So we'll probably say, what, the second week of April maybe? Yeah, something like that. But I'll do a live stream when that happens. We'll give away a device. Someone's going to win it. And just to be clear, that someone can be anywhere in the world. I will ship it as long as there are not shipping restrictions from the United States to your country. If there are, not much I can do about that. Sorry. If I'm not allowed to send it to you, I'm just not allowed to send it to you. But if I am, then yes, you can enter, you can win, and you can get yourself one of these lovely little devices and raise your own little Omegamon X, or not Omegamon Ultra S potentially, but as a reminder, he needs 2 devices, but I'm only giving away 1, so maybe just Blitzgreymon. I don't know, maybe you'll have the second one. That's it, we're done here. We're gonna stop talking about this. So again, leave those comments below. Head to the Digitama Hatchery Discord server if you want to talk about this device, see other people's pictures of it, etc., etc. And again, make sure to check out the guide for your full details on how to use it. That is going to do it for now. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.